So now let's have a look at how this works with the Hex Fuzz sound. Okay, there's the Hex Fuzz. I have the mode switch in the down position, and we're hearing the Hex Fuzz sound from the G505 guitar. Now, like what we just did with the LFO pedal, I can plug in this Yamaha pedal into the jack that's marked Fuzz. And all the way down, with the pedal all the way down, no difference in the sound. But now I can use the pedal as a volume control for the Hex Fuzz. And that's really nice if you have the guitar in mode 2, where we have a blend of the Hex Fuzz and guitar synthesizer sound. So now we can blend how much Hex Fuzz sound you hear with the synthesizer sound, which I like a lot because I've always felt that the Hex Fuzz sound was a little bit too loud and really dominated the synthesizer sound. Now you can get a more pleasing blend between the Hex Fuzz sound and the synthesizer sound. Now, in addition, we can also use the Hex Fuzz jack as a separate Hex Fuzz output, which was, of course, sort of the original inspiration for this idea. And I'm going to move the output jack right now from the synthesizer output, and I'm going to plug it into the Hex Fuzz output. Now, one thing that's important to mention is that since this is a tip ring sleeve jack, and I have the ring wired up as the output, we're going to put this plug into the Hex Fuzz jack, but we're only going to put it in until you hear the first click, or feel the first click. Okay, so it's not quite all the way in, and we definitely have Hex Fuzz, because the Hex Fuzz sound, when you take it right from the GR-300, is much louder than the synthesizer sound. You can also hear that the Hex Fuzz sound is a little bit brighter, and that's because it's not going through the 24 dB per octave low pass filter on the GR-300, which even when you have the filter wide open, which I did, still rolls some of the high frequency signal off. So you get a brighter, cleaner Hex Fuzz sound. There's one more cool thing we can do using the Hex Fuzz jack, and that is we can use this like an effects send and return. Again, the ring is the send, the signal from the GR-300, and the tip is the return. So I'm going to plug in an external chorus foot pedal. I'm actually using a VG-88, but I'm using it not as a guitar synthesizer, but just as a fancy effect pedal. So now we've added chorus to the Hex Fuzz sound. And here's Hex Fuzz and synthesizer. And synthesizer by itself. So that's adding chorus to Hex Fuzz. Here's a different effect. So there's an auto wah sound. And again, we can add it with the GR-300 output. GR-300 by itself. So again, all these modifications were made simply by adding two tip ring sleeve insert jacks to the GR-300, and then basically breaking the connections on the ribbon connector inside of the GR-300. We didn't have to make any modifications to the circuit board. It's a reversible modification. You can wire jumpers in place, though we did elect to drill 2 holes in the GR-300. So, and at least in this case, it's a permanent modification. If you didn't want to make any modifications to the GR-300 at all, you could follow Craig Anderton's recommendation and replace the functions of some of the output jacks on the back of the GR-300. But this is a new way to implement the Craig Anderton modifications and to expand what you can do with a Roland GR-300.